Hi, my name is Mrs. Hubbard. I am a fourth grade teacher at Victor Falls Elementary. I'm also our equity building lead here as well, and this is my 5th year at Sumner-Bonney Lake.
Hi, I'm Noelle. I'm from Sumner High School and I'm a junior.
Hi, I'm Tony Martin, campus safety here at Sumner Middle School. I've been an employee at this school for going on 29 years.
My name is Clemente Villalobos. I've been here working at the Sumner School District I'm on my 27th year.
Being Filipino-American personally means to me a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and knowing that I am so proud to be who I am and where I come from.
Being Filipino kind of grew into something that other people would talk to me about, and it would become something that would help me connect with other people.
One of the main things growing up and how being a Filipino-American, and also my father, who is from Georgia, being a Black Filipino-American, growing up here in Washington State, has really been a benefit to me culturally, just not only culturally, but just how I approach life in general, that, I was able to just be who I am, not explaining anything, but when I needed to, it was appropriate. And so not generalizing just who I was, the way I looked, but I really began to teach on who I was culturally.
It's a little difficult because I have lost a great deal because I used the language, Tagalog mainly, and I spoke that language very fluently as a child. And of course, I've never practiced it living here. I didn't really have a lot of Filipino friends. And so I miss that. And I'm trying to do as much as I can to try to remember some of the words and try to speak if I can. But maybe time will tell.
My parents are honestly the strongest people I know. I come from an immigrant family who came from the Philippines, and my parents came from nothing, literally just dollars in their pockets, and that taught me that nothing comes easy, and perseverance is such an amazing skill to learn as you're growing up, because people won't hand you things. You actually have to work for it.
I believe that being Filipino has made me the type of person that I am today, because my family has influenced me in ways that have pushed me to strive to be a better worker, whether it be with school or just making connections with other people. And being Filipino has made me make other friends that are also Filipino, and they've taught me things about myself that I wouldn't have even known if it wasn't for them.
My mother raised us with a Filipino cuisine, from lumpias, and I'll get back to that about the community part. Lumpias, pancit, chicken adobo. But on our dinner table, we might have yams and collard greens all in one. And so before there was fusion, there was this type of a menu in our household growing up. And so I began to share that here in this school district, in this school, just by the different types of lumpias. And that's the main thing that a lot of people know, but really the culture, the food, and just, the attitude of just accepting everybody and accepting who they are, but most of all the food, and sharing that with them.
Within the last maybe 20 years, that I finally saw myself needing, I don't know, I was just craving to look for my identity in terms of my culture, wanting to know more about me. I'm a tennis player. And one day I was playing tennis at the University of Puget Sound, and there was a couple of guys who were Filipinos. They shot out over towards me on the next court and said, "You Filipino?" I said, "Yes, I am." And it was that time, at that moment, meeting those two Filipinos, that I started getting the exposure of Filipinos. And I realized, and I at that point, I was introduced to other Filipinos in the community here in the Seattle and Tacoma area.
Learning about culture brings people together, and when you learn more about other people's backgrounds and their cultures, I feel like you learn more about yourself, and a lot of fear comes from the unknown. And the more you find out and the more you learn like a sponge about others and how they grew up, their lineage, their ancestors, where they came from, their favorite food, what they enjoy, I feel like it brings you together more. And how often can people go and just buy a plane ticket and go to Spain or go to England or go to India, go to Australia? But when you have people in your school district who have been there, their families are from there, you learn from them, and it feels like you're traveling to those places when you're learning about it in your classroom.
In my future, I hope to become a pilot for an airline of some sort, because as I grew up, I've always traveled back and forth from the United States to the Philippines. So I want it to be something where I can always see the world in different perspectives and meet other people, just like how I saw the differences between the United States and the Philippines.
A couple years ago, we started a club here called CCA, Cultural Connection Alliance. And one of the main things was bringing different kids in our school from different cultures. And the main staple, besides learning each other's culture, was bring a food from that culture. And it went really well for the last 2 years here at Sumner Middle School. We were able to learn about each other, bring folks together in this building, students, and enjoy one another's menus and understanding their culture.
You have to understand that the United States, I didn't know this until, living here, but the United States is really a multicultural country. Everybody has come from different parts of the world. So there isn't really one culture I don't think that would really define an American. We're just Americans that we are together as one, as many nationalities, but we have our own, and we need to maintain that and not be lost, and appreciate that we are who we are.